So here's something you've probably never heard before. You do not need to become more resilient. And I mean that. I really, really mean it. You don't. So when people tell you to be more resilient, how do you feel? What is the implicit message that you get? And do any of these sound like you? And I'm guessing if you've heard this before at your workplace or something, perhaps some of these thoughts have gone through your mind. But when somebody tells you you just need to be more resilient, the implicit message that you're thinking is, it's my fault that I'm struggling and I'm overwhelmed. And everyone else seems to be doing great, so what's wrong with me? Which leads to that next thought. Something is wrong with me. And that's why I'm feeling crappy in the way that I feel, overwhelmed, burned out, stressed. Or maybe you think I'm not strong enough, but I should be, which again goes back to the first point, that it's my fault, or that you feel like there's something wrong with you. Or how about this one? Once I am strong enough, the first thing I need to do is to go back to work and work harder. Now, if any of those resonate with you, or maybe you've even had, well-intended programs rolled out at your workplace, or maybe you've even been the leader who have rolled these resilience programs out for others. Notice what the assumption is here in the way that we approach this, and I mean this across our whole culture. It's infused the way all of us work. The assumption is that you should be working too much, you should feel stressed and overwhelmed and possibly burned out, or at least you should be right on the verge of hitting burnout, because that shows that you're working hard enough. But as long as you flirt that line, eventually you're going to tip your toe into feeling burned out. And if you're not, then you're probably a slacker. We've assumed that in order to be successful and happy, you need to be overwhelmed and, well, frankly, unhappy. Notice the circular and false logic that we've just all trapped ourselves in our entire work culture. This is everywhere I've ever worked in my entire life. This is the implicit message that we're all operating with. And no wonder we're all stressed and overwhelmed. And of course, it's worse during the COVID pandemic, but it's not like it's new. It's just been ramped up by these external factors that have to do with the public health crisis. So is it any wonder that everyone, and maybe you yourself, is feeling overwhelmed, chronically stressed, inflamed, tired, physically exhausted? If that's how you're feeling, then I actually have really good news. The reality is that if your body and your mind and your spirit are shutting down with that kind of exhaustion from chronic stress, there is literally nothing wrong with you. So all those thoughts that come up when you feel like somebody's telling you that you should be more resilient, all of those, there's nothing wrong with you. I can't say it enough. There is nothing wrong with you. In fact, your body, physical body, your brain, your heart, and I mean both your physical heart but also your spiritual heart, they are doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. They're doing their job to protect you from the long-term damages that are caused by chronic stress. I've done posts before about cortisol, the stress hormone. Cortisol is really super helpful if you step out into oncoming traffic and you suddenly realize you're about to be hit by a car. It's going to motivate every resource in your body to get the heck out of the way and save your life, or maybe your kid's life, or the woman crossing the street next to you. That's what it's supposed to do. However, when you live the way that we live in our current culture, and especially in our work culture, chronically stressed, you're constantly pumping that cortisol, which is meant to be a short-term response. You literally are destroying your heart. I mean, we know that this is directly correlated to heart problems later in life. So if you're trapped in that kind of process, just know that your body shutting down is doing exactly what it was designed to do, to keep you safe so that you will step back and recharge and allow your body's natural rhythms to come back into harmony with nature, with your body's own biorhythms that it was given from creation, with the healing patterns of rest. It's literally the way God designed you, me, and everyone else on this planet. You could call it a natural law, that when you push and push and push and you get exhausted and shut down, that's what's supposed to happen. It's not that there's something wrong with you. It's not that you need to be more resilient. It's your body doing what it's supposed to do. So if the answer isn't pushing harder while becoming more resilient, which I will never say to you, what should you do instead? My advice is really simple. Listen to your body. Listen to your heart. I mean that spiritually, and I mean that literally, physically. That's what the heart math and the centering wisdom for techniques are all designed to do. And when you do that, you start to work with the divinely ordered rhythms of nature. In the Benedictine monastic tradition, we use a Latin phrase to describe this divinely ordered natural rhythm for how we are made to live and work in the world. And the Latin phrase is ora et labora, ora et labora. And it simply means prayer and work, prayer and work. We are made to alternate back and forth between prayer or contemplation and work. And everything else in our life happens in that circle and that cycle, that natural rhythm back and forth. And let me be clear, the purpose is not to get into that natural cycle of prayer and work or contemplation and work so that we can then go work harder. That's the trap that we fall into if we take these messages from our culture. No, the purpose is so that we can do the actual work that we were created and born on this planet to do no more than that, but also no less than that. Just imagine for a second what it would be like to know what it is you were put on this planet to do, to be in a daily rhythm of ora et labora, contemplation and work, and know at the end of the day that you've done exactly what you were called to do, no more, no less. You can set it aside, be present with your family, be happy with who you are in the world, be happy physically in your body, go to sleep without having that monkey mind keeping you awake all night. Of course, the problem is that very few people stop to really answer the question of what was I born to do? What singular gift and purpose, born of the divine mind, was I born to share? And I would pose that to you. What singular gift and purpose, born of the divine mind, were you created to share? If you don't know the answer to that right now, that's okay. Very few people take the time to really figure that out because we're so caught up in the grind and the demands of balancing career and family and work and maybe trying to have some personal relationships that are meaningful, taking care of our physical health, exercise, all of that, right? We're on that hamster wheel. So if you don't know, that's okay. Centering for Wisdom is all about how to get your body, your mind, and your soul and your heart back into alignment with the natural rhythms of creation. Ora et labora, prayer and work, contemplation and work, that natural rhythm. And once you do that, then to find your core purpose, or what I call your root why, and live that out. I've got a simple exercise that I teach people to discover your root why. You kind of do it once, and then you come back to it a few times to kind of nuance the layers of it. And it works for everybody I've ever worked with, that eventually they discover within usually a few days what their core purpose is. Of course, it's guided by divine wisdom, but we give a little structure to move that along. Once you do that, once you know your root why or your core purpose, and you have those rhythms of ora et labora, then you can work, live, and play with the people you love while aligned with your body, your soul, and your heart's innate guidance and wisdom. And you don't need to be more resilient to do this. You just need to relearn or learn as you did when you came out of the womb, because you were in a human body that was designed perfectly. You can relearn how to listen to your body, to get in touch with your heart's intuition, to feel and listen to and respond to the natural rhythms of your body and of ora et labora. And from there, the way to live every day is simply to allow the divine plan to move effortlessly through you. And the amazing thing is, when you get into that kind of a pattern, things start to happen that maybe you've dreamed about for years in your career or in your business or maybe even in your relationships. But it's almost like at first you don't notice it, and then all of a sudden things like boom, 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 they start lining up. It's like they just start happening. And it's not because you're a better person. You're already a good person. It's not because you're smarter. It's because you're living aligned with the rhythms of grace in human nature and in your body and your heart. And suddenly these things start happening, and you're actually using less effort. And you're just showing up to life every day, doing what you were put on this earth to do, and receiving the gifts and fruits of that. And then really it's just about being thankful and paying it forward once you get to that point. And that's exactly why I've put together all of the work that I've done, literally with thousands of people over the years, into one program that you can check out by going to thomasjbushlack.com/mentor. Again, it's thomasjbushlack.com/mentor. It's in the notes for this Facebook Live or this video, and I will put it in the chat box as well when I'm done. And that is the Centering for Wisdom coaching program. When you get to that page, you're going to see kind of all the information and different details and things that you'll get out of it to see how I kind of help you put all of this together to get into that natural rhythm of Ora et Labora. You'll see the price. You'll see a place to sign up if you're ready to go. And if you keep scrolling all the way to the bottom, you can actually get in touch with me directly. You can send me, there's a little widget where you can send me a message through Facebook Messenger, and I'll get back to you usually within 24 business hours, often a lot quicker, but that's kind of my promise. And there's even an embedded right there. You can see my calendar if you want to book a call to see if this is really the right fit for you. You can book a call, and all you got to do is enter your info, and I will call you at the time you put in there. And there's no sales ambush, there's no pressure. It's just an honest conversation about whether or not this program is right for you, if you're at the right time in your life to do it. And if it is, then we'll work together, we'll make it work, we'll figure it out. There's even payment plans that we're able to work out. So we really make it accessible and as easy as possible. So again, if you're interested in putting all of that together, if you're sick of feeling like you should be more resilient and you just want to live into those natural rhythms of contemplation and work and to live aligned with your core purpose, then click over to thomasjbushlack.com/mentor and check it out right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back next week. Take care. Hope you all have a great weekend.